Welcome to this discussion of Chapter 6. This is entitled Business Transactions and Their Analysis. So in this chapter, we will describe the nature and give examples of business transactions, identify the different types of business documents, and analyze common business transactions using the rules of debit and credit. Let's discuss the accounting cycle first. So the accounting cycle represents the steps or procedures used to record transactions and prepare financial statements. The accounting cycle implements the accounting processes of identifying, recording, and communicating economic information. So these are the steps in the accounting cycle. First is the identifying and analyzing. This refers to the business documents or the transactions. The accountant gathers information from source documents and determines the effect of the transactions on the accounts. So once na na-identify and na-analyze na niya, dun na papasok yung journalizing. So the identified accountable events are recorded in the journals, as discussed also in the previous chapters. Next is the posting. Information from the journal are transferred to the ledger. Siyempre, para ma-summarize yung na-journalize mo, isa-summarize mo siya sa ledger per account. Next is the preparation of the unadjusted trial balance. The balances of the general ledger accounts are proved as to the equality of debits and credits, and the unadjusted trial balance serves as basis for adjusting entries. Number 5 is the preparation of adjusting entries. The accounts are updated as of the reporting date on an accrual basis by recording accruals, expiration of deferrals, estimations, and other events often not signaled by new source documents. Minsan kasi, kahit na-record mo na yung mga transactions sa number 2 step, may mga times na may mga habol na entries na kailangan mong i-adjust. So, dun pumapasok yung adjusting entries. Next is the adjusted trial balance. Of course, this is the equality of debits and credits na i-check mo siya after adjustments are made. So the adjusted trial balance serves as the basis for the preparation of the financial statements, which is in number 7. Ito na yung preparation of financial statements. These are the means by which the information process is communicated to users. Number 8 is closing the books or recording the closing entries. This involves journalizing and posting closing entries and ruling the ledger kasi wala ka ng ibang i-record. So temporary accounts are closed and the resulting profit or loss is transferred to an equity account. Number 9 is the preparation of post-closing trial balance. The equality of debits and credits are again rechecked after the closing process. And last is the recording of reversing entries. So the reversing entries are usually made at the beginning of the next accounting period to simplify the recording of certain transactions in that period. So dun tayo sa first step. In identifying and analyzing transactions and events, of course, only accountable events are recorded. So a transaction that has an effect on the accounts is an accountable event, which needs to be recorded in the books of accounts. On the other hand, a transaction that has no effect on the accounts is a non-accountable event, which is not recorded in the books of accounts. So normally, transactions are identified from source documents. Ito yung, ano ba yung source documents? These are written evidences containing information about transactions. Source documents come in various forms which include, but not limited to the following: sales invoice, official receipts, purchase orders, delivery receipts, bank deposit slips, bank statements, checks, statement of accounts, and the like. Siyempre, itong mga source documents ang magiging basis ni accountant sa ire-record niyang transaction. Let's discuss the different types of events. So, may dalawa, external events and internal events. External events are transactions that involve the business and another external party, while internal events are events that do not involve an external party. So, after an accountable event is identified and analyzed, the second step is to record it in the journal by means of a journal entry. So this recording process is called journalizing. Ito yung format niya, as discussed also in the previous chapter. May date, ito yung account titles, and this is the debit and credit, and there's also a short description of the transaction. May dalawang klase ng journal entries. Pwedeng simple journal entry which contains a single debit and a single credit. And another one is the compound journal entry. Ito yung dalawang entry sana. Pwedeng dalawang entry siya as simple pero pinagsama mo siyang dalawa. So it contains two or more debits or credits. Let's discuss an example para mas maintindihan. So this is a journal entry, and in this illustration, we will discuss how to set up the accounting records of a startup business. So this is the situation. You opened the barbecue stand on January 1, 2021, and these are the business transactions on this date. First, of course, the first transaction in every startup business is the initial investment. You provided 800 cash as initial investment to your business. So kapag nag-analyze ka dahil beginner ka pa lang, iisipin mo kung ano yung accounts na maaapektuhan niya. So ulit, you provided 800 cash as initial investment to your business. So ano ang account na affected? Of course, cash. Magkakaroon ng cash yung business, and cash is an asset. And another one is the owner's capital, which can be seen in equity section. Ano ang effect nitong mga accounts na to? Of course, magbibigay ka ng cash sa business. So cash of the business will be increased while owner's capital will also be increased. At sabi nga, kapag nag-increase ang cash, it should be debited. At kapag nag-increase ang owner's equity, it's a credit. So ano ang magiging journal entry mo based sa naging analysis natin? Of course, you should input the date and you should debit cash kasi nag-increase siya amounting to 800, and credit to owner's capital because owner's capital also increased because of the investment amounting to 800 pesos. So the short description of the transaction is to record the owner's initial investment to the business. Next na gagawin mo is you need to check the equation kung equal pa rin siya based sa naging entry mo. So, debit cash 800 and credit to owner's capital 800. What is the effect of this transaction in the formula or equation? So, cash 800 equals liabilities is 0 kasi wala naman tayong entry involving liabilities, while equity is 800. So, the accounting equation is still balance. And of course, kapag nagkaroon kayo ng mga future quizzes, ang given lang ay itong transaction na to, yung you provided 800 cash as initial investment to your business. But the analysis should be done by you, of course. Paano mo siya i-analyze? Kailangan mong i-check kung ano yung mga accounts na maapektuhan, anong effect niya sa account, increase ba or decrease. Tapos, i-assess mo kung increase siya, debit ba siya or credit, bago ka mag-come up sa journal entry mo. And, i-check mo ngayon kung anong effect niya sa accounting equation. Kasi gaya nga ng na-discuss ko before, kapag hindi balance yung accounting equation mo, there is something wrong. Next is transaction 2. The business obtained a loan of 1,200 pesos. Ibig sabihin, nagkaroon ng loan si business, nangutang siya. So what is the effect in the accounts? Of course, nag-loan siya, so magkakaroon siya ng cash, which is asset, and notes payable, which is liability. Paano ko nalamang notes payable? Siyempre, loan siya. So, um, may formal written may formal written agreement dyan para sa liability. So, kung nagkaroon ka ng cash at nagkaroon ka ng notes payable, ano ang effect niya sa accounts? Siyempre, mag-i-increase si cash kasi nakatanggap ka ng pera at mag-i-increase din yung notes payable mo kasi nagkaroon ka ng utang. So, dahil nag-increase si cash, it will be increased through debit, and liability will also be increased through credit. So what will be the journal entry? Of course, cash is debited amounting to 1,200 and notes payable will also be credited because it's an increase in the liability section. And what is the effect of this transaction in the accounting equation? Siyempre, kadugtong pa rin niya yung transaction 1. So, in addition to the cash amounting to 800, may additional na 1,2. So, the total cash will now be 2,000. The total liabilities will now be 1,200 because of the loan. And the total equity is 800. And this shows that the basic accounting equation is still equal and is maintained as each transaction is recorded. So this is in accordance with the concept of duality and equilibrium. Next, transaction 3 is the capital expenditures. The business acquired the following for cash: barbecue grill 1,000, cooking accessories 120, beach umbrella is 400. So based on the transaction, for cash daw siya. So nagbayad ka ng pera nung binili mo siya. What is the effect in the transaction? Of course, equipment tong mga to. And you use cash to acquire the following equipment. So the accounts affected will be equipment, it's an asset, and cash, it's also an asset. Madadagdagan yung equipment mo kasi bumili ka. Pero mababawasan yung cash mo kasi yun yung ginamit mong pambayad. So dahil nag-increase sa equipment, it will be debited. At dahil nag-decrease si cash, it should be credited. So this will now be the entry. So debit equipment, barbecue grill 1,000, debit equipment, cooking accessories 120, and debit equipment, beach umbrella 400, credit cash 1,520. Paano nakuha yung 1,520? So 1,000 plus 120 and plus 400. Total is 1,520. Let's check now the accounting equation. So the total added equipment is 1,520 while decreasing the cash amounting to 1,520. So the total assets will still be 2,000, notes payable is 1,2, and equity is 800. So the equation is still balanced. Next is the acquisition of inventory. So the business purchased inventory for 480 cash. How will you analyze this? Of course, dahil bumili ng inventory, madadagdagan yung inventory mo and it's an asset. Pero, siyempre maapektuhan yung cash mo kasi yun yung ginamit para bayaran yung inventory. So, inventory is increased, cash is decreased. What will be its effect? Asset is increased through debit, pero decrease din siya through credit kasi parehas na asset yung involved. So, what will be the journal entry? So, debit inventory for 80 and credit cash for 80. This is to record the acquisition of inventory. And what will be its effect in the equation? Zero effect pa rin siya sa asset and no effect in liabilities and equity. So, it will be maintained to assets amounting to 2,000, liabilities amounting to 1,2, and equity amounting to 800 pesos. So, these are the examples on how you will analyze the transactions. And reminder again that this analysis will not be given to you. Ikaw ang mag-a-analyze kung paano mo gagawan ng technique para mas madali sa'yong mag-record ng journal entries. I will be posting additional examples in our MS Teams. Image na lang siya ng book para mas maging madali yung pag-aaral nyo when it comes to the analysis of transactions, kung paano siya madaling i-journalize. So, if you have any questions and reactions and clarifications, you may post a message in our Teams or you may directly send a message to me through MS Teams and Facebook Messengers. Thank you.